Secor presents. What's going on, everybody? This is Tim Hurd, and you are listening to Tall Talk, episode 36. Let's think local for a second. What does that even mean? Some of you already know I'm taking broadcast journalism at Fanshawe College, right here in London, Ontario. All my professors say that you should always lead local, or localize the lead. Local is everything. It might be where you're from, the place you were born, or the town you moved to. In my life so far, I've lived in 4 different but unique communities. The place I grew up, a small town known as Aurelia, where I learned how to swim at Couching Park, worked as a line cook at Brewery Bay Food Company, and attended Twin Lakes Secondary School. From there I had to make a choice. I decided to move up to Sudbury and attended Laurentian University. If you've listened to this podcast before, you've probably heard how much fun I had. I met some of my best friends, and I can honestly say that's where I truly found a passion for beer. Mostly because I had so many of them. After 5 years, I moved to Ottawa, dug some tunnels, played with some lasers, and worked countless hours. I know I give Ottawa a bad rep because of my time underground, but there are some positives. I met my beautiful girlfriend Emma, got interested in photography, and it's the birthplace of this podcast. Now Emma and I are in London. She spends her days saving lives at one of the many hospitals, and I'm in college. We're both learning the city and trying to figure out where we fit in the local community. I know I've only been here for a couple of months, but I've already learned so much about broadcasting, and more importantly, the craft beer community. As of right now, I'm faced with 3 local beers, all of which I've enjoyed. There's Anderson Craft Ale's Cream Ale, London Brewing's Natural Lager, and Forked River's Capital Blonde Ale. So what does the community mean to a craft brewery? Much like Norm Peterson walking into Cheers and grabbing a beer off Sam Malone, craft breweries in London are turning into a place where everyone knows your name. Now, which beer am I going to drink? Well, I guess you're going to have to find out after this.
I am Sam Cook, and I am the founder and creator of Secor.io. Secor.io is a brand new podcasting network that's looking for new talent to join our lineup. If you're interested in having a show hosted with Secor.io, then please send us a message on our Contact Us form on the homepage of our website. Thank you very much, and I look forward to your submissions.
Oh, so which one did I go with? I went with, where is it here? Anderson Craft Ale's Cream Ale, mainly because I had a couple beers from London Brewing last week. And one of my first podcasts that I did in London, I had Forked River on it. So I have had Anderson on it as well. It was their autumn that they have, but I'm just going to pour this in a glass real quick, and then we're going to get back into the podcast. I've had this beer before. It's quite enjoyable, but I just want to say cheers to the local community and to London. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. This week I had the opportunity to sit down with event manager Lisa Wissink from Anderson Craft Ales, and we discussed what they do to get themselves involved with the local community. And it was quite an interesting interview. It was right in their tap room, and it was overlooking some of the guys doing some work, and it was a really fun experience. I learned a lot. And without further ado, here is Lisa explaining how they get involved with local charities.
First of all, there are Charity of the Month night. So we have a Charity of the Month initiative here at Anderson, where every month we put a poll up on Facebook that has 4 organizations or not-for-profit groups, initiatives, that sort of thing, that people in the community can choose between. So anyone who follows us on Facebook has a chance to vote for who they want to support that month, and we just rely on those organizations or our regulars to give suggestions for who those organizations should be. So right now I've had enough people reach out to me that the poll for January already has 4 organizations chosen, for example. And so once that poll is put up on Facebook, it stays there for a week. People vote on who they want to support, and the winning organization receives $1 from every glass of beer that we sell on Thursday evenings of that month. So this past month, October, was Cedar Row Farm Sanctuary was the organization that our community chose to support. Really great organization here in London who works to basically foster animals from farms that are no longer have a place at their farm, or maybe were rescued from not so great farming practices. And so they have this sanctuary for farm animals, which is really, really neat. And that was the organization that the community wanted to support this month.
Anderson Craft Ales wants the community to know that their door is always open to local charities.
So in September, we worked with YOU, Youth Opportunities Unlimited. And in August, we were working with Meals on Wheels London. So it's a pretty wide range of different organizations. This month, we've got the poll. Actually, the winner's going to be announced this afternoon. So it's between the Alzheimer's Foundation, Team Diabetes, the London Shoebox Project, and one other one that I'm forgetting. But anyway, so those organizations, pretty much as long as you are a registered charity, we're interested in working with you. So like I said, I'm not the one, even though I'm putting the poll on Facebook, I'm not the one choosing these organizations. We 100% rely on people who are coming to us asking to be involved with the Charity of the Month initiative, or raising their hand and saying, hey, that's a great organization. I don't work there, but I think you should add it to the poll.
During Halloween, Anderson Craft Ale had multiple events.
So on the 27th, we had our pumpkin carving night, which we actually worked with Team Diabetes for that event, so that it wasn't just pumpkin carving, we were raising money as well. So we asked for a pay what you can donation in order to hang out and carve a pumpkin. So we had about 20, 25 people who were upstairs here carving and drinking beer and having some snacks and some candy, which was great. And then on Wednesday, yesterday, on real Halloween, so to speak, basically we didn't want to do anything too over the top, because the costumes and that sort of thing is what shines on Halloween anyway. So we just offered a discounted rate for pints of beer for anyone who is in a costume.
I'd like to thank Lisa for the amazing interview that I had with her this week. It was phenomenal. I learned a lot about Anderson Craft Ales and how they get involved with the community and certain events that they run. They have weekly and nightly things going on all the time, and it's just an amazing vibe. So if you're in the London area, I definitely suggest checking them out. You can follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and it's just a great place because it's cool. They have a bunch of board games. They have cool posters. Like when I was there, they had what did they have? They had, because it was around Halloween when I went, they had a bunch of old Halloween horror movie photos and posters that were framed and everything. And I think they were by a local artist. I forgot to ask her. But no, it was a lot of fun. And I learned a lot. And this is the thing I want to get myself more focused on with this podcast, is trying to get involved more with the community, and especially the local craft brewing community. And I want to focus stories specifically on beer and things that evolve around beer. This is what the podcast is about, and I want to continue focusing on that. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you for Anderson Craft Ales for allowing me to go there and doing the interview. And without further ado, I would like to move on with the podcast and talk about another brewery in London that has a unique night. They have a unique event nightly. Sorry, they have a unique event that happens on Fridays, and it involves music. So Tall Talk will be back after this.
I am Sam Cook, and I am the founder and creator of Secor.io. Secor.io is a brand new podcasting network that's looking for new talent to join our lineup. If you're interested in having a show hosted with Secor.io, then please send us a message on our Contact Us form on the homepage of our website. Thank you very much, and I look forward to your submissions.
Welcome back. I decided to grab another beer because I drank the Anderson Craft Ales Cream Ale. So I have the London Brewing London Natural Lager, which is one of their popular ones. I've had this a lot. It's really good. It's delicious. And I'm going to just crack it open real quick before we move on. And one moment, I'm going to pour it into a glass. It's almost done, don't worry. Oh, yeah. All right. So welcome back, everybody. So moving on with the podcast. This week I also sat down with events coordinator and music curator Jim MacDonald from the London Brewing Co-op, and the interview was quite interesting, and we discussed many events that they have either nightly, weekly, and ongoing. And a couple weeks back, last podcast, I talked about their one event that they hosted regarding women drinking beer, and it was really interesting. But I learned a lot about the London Brewing Co-op and the events that they run from Jim, and how they use music to get the word out about their brewery, and especially Friday nights. So here is Jim explaining their Friday night events.
So basically, I got involved through a community event. I met one of the owners of the cooperative, which there are 5 owners, and basically he talked about the need for an event on Fridays to make the community come out to the tap room, see the space, and catch the vibe. So they hired me on as music curator to hire bands to have a continuing music series that we call Friday Night Live. We've been doing that now since January of 2018, and we're going to be celebrating our 1-year anniversary coming January. So it's been very successful for the space, and we've done a lot of changes and investments into the environment here for our guests to enjoy the space even more.
Whether it be jamming to music or shuffling a deck of cards, there's an event going on every night at the Co-op.
Yeah, like if you look up here on our events board, so we are now basically running, by January we'll be running Tuesday through Sunday with something going on. So Tuesdays will be a open jam series where we're going to have jazz themed nights, funk, soul, R&B nights to start in November and December. Then we have our euchre night every Wednesday night, which we have a wonderful turnout of people come out for every Wednesday for euchre. Thursdays kind of opened up for larger group meetings, or if you want to have a tasting tour or something like that. We usually keep Thursdays available for that currently. Fridays, as I said, we have the Friday Night Live series, which is an ongoing music series, different live band, different food vendor every week. It's family friendly, runs from 6 till 9. It's been very successful. And then Saturdays is another day where we would generally keep open for the larger events and stuff that we can draw and have larger crowds in.
If you're looking for a relaxing Sunday fun day, check out the Co-op.
And then Sundays, starting this Sunday, we're going to have a Sunday acoustic afternoon, so a place you can bring your kids, play board games, hang out, have some food, and listen to some of the best performances by local singer-songwriters. So we've got that series starting up this Sunday. So
I'd like to thank Jim and London Brewing for allowing me to do the interview. So what did I learn? Community involvement can grow a craft beer business, whether it be monthly charities or rocking out to a local band. Getting involved is so important. For everyone listening, go and check out a local brewery. See what they have to offer, and check out their events. You might find one that interests you. A special thanks goes out to Lisa Wissink of Anderson Craft Ales and Jim MacDonald of London Brewing. They were amazing interviews, and I learned a lot. Remember, you can follow this podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Spotify. And also, a special thanks goes out to Sam Cook and his podcast network, Secor. But until next time, folks, it's been a Timbo Slice.